Each member is acknowledging that they are attending the meeting via Zoom and that they are located in Wayne County, Michigan, unless otherwise stated when I call your name. Commissioner Anderson,
Present.
Commissioner Basham,
Here.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Here.
Commissioner Daub,
Here.
Commissioner Hattis,
Present.
Commissioner Killeen,
Here.
Commissioner Kinlock, Commissioner Kinlock, Commissioner Knizik,
Here.
Commissioner Marecki,
Here.
Commissioner Baker McCormick, Commissioner Baker McCormick, Commissioner Scott,
Present.
Commissioner Varga,
Here.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun,
Present.
Vice Chair Palomera,
Here.
Chair Bell,
Here.
Commissioner Kinlock, Commissioner Baker McCormick. You have a quorum present.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next item, please.
Invocation.
Okay, today we will have invocation by Commissioner Hados. Commissioner Hados, you have the floor.
Good morning, Madam the Chair, Commissioner, the audience. Give me great pleasure and honor to introduce somebody who I feel the non-official chaplain of the Commission of Wayne County is a dear friend. He's a former mayor of the city of Ecorse, presently on the city council. And on his way in the church to the Reverend School, give me great honor to introduce Darcel Brown.
Thank you, Commissioner, for allowing me to give the invocation for this meeting. And it's good to see everyone. Glad that everyone is doing well. And Isaiah 26:3 reads, "Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusteth in thee."
Yes.
Let us pray. Lord, we say thank you for allowing us to see another day and to walk in our purpose. We thank you that Wayne County will continue to flourish because of the selfless leaders who consider others above themselves. We ask that during today's deliberations, you provide your guidance and wisdom so that the commissioners can make the best decisions for the people of this region. Let the commissioners reap a reward for being generous givers of their time and efforts. Lord, renew their strength and zeal. I ask that you compensate them by blessing them and their families with good health, joy, and peace as they place their trust in you. These things we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. Thank you so much, Darcel. Great to see you as always. We still miss you down here, but glad that you're doing well.
Thank you, Darcel. Well done. Thank you, like always.
Recording in progress.
Thank you. Okay, next item, Madam Clerk.
Reading, correcting, and approval of the journal.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun.
Move for approval.
Support.
Moved and supported. Any comments, discussion on reading, correcting, and approval of the journal? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Anyone wish to abstain?
Motion carries.
Excuse
Thank
me,
you.
for the
Next item,
record, Chair Bell,
Yes,
Commissioners Kinlock and Commissioner Baker McCormick are in the meeting.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Next item, please.
Report from the chair.
Thank you. For our listening audience, just want to let you know that we operate in a committee format. So all of our committees meet separately. And today at the full board is when we give final disposition of items. So a lot of the discussion and vetting happens at the committee level. And then we come to the full board for final disposition. That's all that I have. Next item, please.
Unfinished business, there is none listed. We are moving to page 2 of the agenda, offering of all petitions, ordinances, resolutions, and presentations. There are 3 listed on the agenda and 3 on the addenda. Item number 1 is a resolution by Commissioner Kinlock vehemently supporting the Advancing the Vote, Protecting Democracy legislative agenda.
Thank you, Commissioner Kinlock.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. As you know, the legislature, not only here in Michigan, but across the United States, have been proposing legislation to pretty much hamper or to interfere with the access to the ballot box. Here in Michigan, there has been various different attempts to limit the opportunities, the timeline for individuals to be able to vote by absentee, utilization of the absentee of the voting box, the absentee voting boxes that have been placed throughout various communities, and you have had a large number of citizen groups and organizations to come together and to call on the legislature to take action to allow for continuing to have open access to the ballot box. At this time, Madam Chair, I would like to recognize Paul Rican, who is part of the voter, part of the organizations that have been fighting to protect voters' rights.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Commissioner. Good morning, everybody. My name is Paul Rincon, and I'm here today as a Wayne County resident, one who voted in support of expanding voting rights, and I fiercely believe in the integrity of our elections. I'm also here today to speak on behalf of Voters Not Politicians, the nonprofit group that developed and passed Prop 2 in 2018. And we're working with a coalition of partners, including All Voting is Local, Detroit Action, and Access, to advance state ethics and openness laws in the legislature and opposing the package of bills that would suppress the vote in our state. Today's resolutions by the Wayne County Commission, also supported by groups like the Michigan League of Women Voters, bring me great pride in our community. The package of 39 bills introduced by the Michigan legislators to limit voters' rights and reduce election efficiency and equitability are unnecessary and shameful. In 2018, a supermajority of Michigan voters, 67%, supported expanding access to the ballot, myself included. Now, however, we're finding that politicians are once again trying to manipulate our voting process by implementing legislation that would inhibit voting rights rather than expanding them. The proposed package of bills would harm voting rights and elections, particularly within communities of color and lower income communities. These bills would limit the use of ballot drop boxes, which proved to be a beneficial method of voting during elections that took place during the COVID-19 pandemic. And they would also affect local clerks' abilities to conduct our elections fairly and efficiently. These bills also come on the heels of a historically successful election. Over 250 audits at state and local levels showed that this election was safe, secure, and accurate. More than 5.5 million Michiganders exercised their constitutional right to vote in the 2020 presidential election, the most ever and the highest percentage of voting age residents to cast a ballot in 60 years. Of those voters, 3.2 million cast their ballot by absentee, including myself. Rather than stripping rights from voters, Michigan legislators should instead be focusing their efforts on making our democracy more inclusive. Here are 5 of the pro-voting priorities that we should be working toward implementing instead.
Mr. Rick,
Yeah,
thank you.
go ahead.
We appreciate you. And we'll get those items forwarded to the commissioners, but thank you for coming and speaking on behalf of Commissioner Kinlock's resolution.
All right, I thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner
Madam Chair.
Kinlock.
Madam Chair, therefore, I move the adoption of the resolution.
Support.
Okay, it was moved. I think I heard Commissioner Clark Coleman first.
Right.
Moved and supported. There will, let's do a voice vote on this. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'm opposed. Mareki.
Mareki opposed. Anyone wish to abstain? Okay,
Motion carries.
thank you so much. Thank you, Commissioner And thank you, Mr. Rincon. I'm gonna get the name pronounced correctly. Thank you, Paul. Okay.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Next item, please.
Item number 2 is a resolution by Commissioner Ken Locke urging Governor Gretchen Whitmer and the Michigan Legislature to support free and equitable access to the ballot for all Wayne County and Michigan eligible voters and to enact laws that expand voter rights and access to elections.
Commissioner Kenlock, I think that's similar to your previous resolution.
Yes, but this actually speaks to the fact that the individuals who had in the legislature who've introduced these voter suppression bills also recognize that we have a governor who will not support those package of bills that limit access to the ballot box. Therefore, there has been a move to push a petition drive to circumvent the governor's ability to veto these type of laws. And so this resolution speaks to that fact, that we call on both the legislature and the governor to support open and free access to the ballot box. Keeping in mind that if the petition drive is successful, it then goes to the legislature. The legislature will have the sole authority to enact those voter restriction laws, and the governor would be unable to veto that initiative. So with that understanding, I call on this commission to vote to send a statement to both the legislature and the governor that we stand firm on open and free access to the ballot box. I so move the adoption of this resolution.
Support.
Okay, moved and supported. Discussion. Hearing no discussion, voice vote on this. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
I'm opposed, Marecki.
All right, anyone wish to abstain?
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Commissioner Kinlock.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the commission.
Okay, next item, Madam Clerk.
Item number 3 is a presentation on the Wayne County Rental Assistance Program.
Okay, I think this is going to be presented by either Khalil or Wafa.
Yep, Wafa Denaro, Wayne County Economic Development. If you don't mind, I'm going to share my screen. I just have a few slides.
Yes, ma'am.
Just one moment, Wafa.
Sure, thanks.
You should be able to share now.
All right. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Whoops. There we go. All right, so the Wayne County Emergency Rental Assistance, I know the commission has already seen a couple contracts relating to the emergency rental assistance. There'll be some more information coming to you guys soon. But basically, Wayne County has received some federal funding from the Treasury Department, and some of the minimum eligibility requirements for spending this money it is only available to tenants, so they have to be renters. This money cannot be used for homeowners. One or more of the individuals have had to have qualified for unemployment benefits or experienced some kind of reduction in household income or had some other financial hardship. So there will be they will have the ability to explain their financial hardship. If they didn't have, things like other financial hardship would be childcare, having their kids at school, having their kids home from school, that constitutes financial hardship. And then one or more of the individuals within that household must demonstrate a risk of experiencing homelessness or some kind of housing instability. And the household income has to be at or below 80% of the area median income as determined by HUD. That chart is available on the website, so you can know exactly where you fall in line. Some of the provisions for the Emergency Rental Assistance Program include utility assistance. The requirements for that is it can only cover utility assistance, so water, gas, electric, dating back to March of 2020. So any arrears prior to March of 2020 cannot be covered through this program. This is intended to cover the COVID expenses. And then there's a cap on assistance across all utilities, which is based on household size. It's also based on a chart Any additional allocation may be made to applicants for the shutoff. We're currently working with DTE and the local municipalities to get listings of individuals, to get them to help us target those individuals that are, potentially could get their water shut off, get their electricity shut off, get their gas shut off. So there's already an emergency rental assistance program that came out from the CARES program back in December 2020. That program is called ERA 1, Emergency Rental Assistance 1. That funding went directly to the state of Michigan. The state of Michigan is using Wayne Metro to administer the program. And their website is the CERA website, CERA. We are taking the second allocation. We are calling that ERAP 2, Emergency Rental Assistance Program 2. Wayne County is getting approximately $30 million. We are taking the allocation directly and we're going to distribute it directly. The application will be on our website. We will be processing the applications from A to Z. So what the program looks like for rental assistance, it's up to 15 months of rental assistance, 12 months of arrears, and up to 3 months of future rent. We will cover late fees for any tenants, and then we will cover relocation costs if they're, getting evicted and they need to find new housing. The utilities cover electricity, home heating, water, sewer, and then trash if it's bundled in with some of their other utility bills. And then we also will offer an internet stipend for individuals. The way the program works is the application is available on our website on waynecounty.com. We internally will review all of the applications, and then the payments will be made to one of 3 individuals. We will pay the utilities and the local municipalities for water directly through ACH. We will pay landlords directly also through ACH, and we will pay tenants through a Visa gift card. We're using a Visa gift card because we understand that this population that we're serving is usually either unbanked or underbanked, and we don't want to give them paper checks because of the payday lending places. So the Visa cards are no fee for them. They are able to use them. They also get 3 checks that they can use that get deducted from those Visa cards. We will have a call center support. The information center will be able to do like application intake. We'll be able to provide information. It'll be a centralized number where people can get information. And then we're currently working with the Balmer Group, who is going to be assisting us with doing the outreach to our targeted low-income communities. The application is going to be on waynecounty.com/rental assistance. That's where all of the information, all of the application, everything is available. I think I can take questions and answers, but I'll kick it back to the chair from here.
Okay. Can we have a copy of this presentation?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. And are there any questions from commissioners?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Baydun, Vice Chair Baydun.
Thanks, Madam Chair. Thank you, Wafa, for all that you're doing to help the residents of Wayne County, especially the ones that are struggling. Wafa, I know of several tenants who were struggling and they got assistance from Wayne Metro. Do they still qualify even though they received the assistance from Wayne Metro?
So it's the same program and they will still fall under the guidelines. They might be able to qualify for an additional 3 months because ERA 1 only gave funding up to 12 months. Our program allows for up to 15 months, so we can give an additional 3 months of support. So potentially they might qualify.
Okay, thank you, Wafa. And when will this application go live?
The application will go live on the 27th. We're doing like a soft, we're launching it next week just to make sure there's no bugs or we can work out all the technical issues, but it will officially go live on the 27th.
And they have how many days to apply?
It'll be open indefinitely. So it'll be open until the application, until we run out of money, which we anticipate will be December of next year.
It's good to know. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Marecki?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Wafa, so the ERAT program 1 is completed at this point from the state?
It is not. They still have money, and they're still actually behind in processing some of these applications. So we are.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So we have worked out. We are required to do a duplication of benefits. So we're not paying anybody more than the maximum amount. So we are working with Wayne Metro to coordinate who we're paying, who they paid, and make sure that we are, we have access to each other's systems so we can not process the same applications.
Okay, well, that's good to know. And did you mention how much money the county got for this specifically?
Yeah, it was 32, I'll get you the exact number, but 32 million, essentially. We are receiving it in 2 tranches. We received the first, about 15 million already. And if we're able to spend that 15 million, we'll get the second tranche of funding.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thanks for the presentation. Thanks, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Commissioner Kinlock.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Wafa, as you could imagine, I got a lot of phone calls, and I'm sure the other Detroit commissioners got as many calls as well regarding the last announcement regarding funds that would be available for victims of the flood that excluded Detroit residents. And just want to ask for the record, is this a program that Detroiters would be able to benefit from? And
it is
not,
also, sorry, go ahead.
Okay,
it is not.
Okay, let me ask you this. Is that a restriction? And that's the thing that I even had with the Water Commission yesterday at the meeting there. Is the restriction, because we oftentimes hear about these Detroit restrictions and excluding Detroit, is this a restriction that has come from the state, or is restriction to come from the federal government? How are those guidelines put in place?
Yep. So this is a restriction from the Treasury Department. Because Detroit received their own allocation of funding, we are only allowed to spend our money in the designated area, which includes Wayne County with the exception of Detroit. So the money, this $32 million is intended to serve the residents of Out County.
So it's very important.
Treasury Department.
Moving forward, I need for that to be placed very prominently, that we're not putting these restrictions in place, that the monies are being allocated based upon, the federal government or state government guidelines. And that's very important. Thank you.
Understood.
Thank you, Commissioner. Great point. Commissioner Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Wafa, I think it's important that everyone remembers that the separate allocation that the city of Detroit gets, and that we're certainly not leaving them behind on this. It's a separate pot of money. And the same thing was with the flooding issues and that funding. I did want to ask you, you had mentioned that the rental assistance goes live on the 27th. Does that mean the applications cannot be filled out online before that?
Correct. The applications will be open on the 27th, and we'll start. We're going to be processing them on a rolling basis. So as they come in, we'll process them. Our goal is to be able to process them within a few weeks, from start to finish, because we know the eviction moratorium is expired, and these people are desperate, and we need to get money into to their landlords or into their hands to pay their utilities.
One last thing, what Commissioner Kinlock mentioned, I think it would be important too, if we can have that site where someone can go to if they live within the city of Detroit, and have that available to people, might avoid a lot of calls that commissioners might get that are from people that are in the city. I actually had some, and we didn't have access to their details of what their restrictions were, and I just referred them to the city council or the mayor's office. But I think it would be helpful if we knew that a link, if we could place that on there. If you're a resident of the city of Detroit, it's a different pot of money essentially, and you would need to take this other step. But anyway,
That's a great suggestion. We'll definitely do that.
thank you.
Thank you so much, Commissioner. That is a good suggestion, because we do get inundated with why not Detroit. And we have to explain that over and over again. But to have that where we can cite that in the federal law would be helpful. Thank you. Commissioner Kleen.
Well, Madam Chair, I did take my hand down because I was going to reiterate the same point we're talking about here. Even when I post the daily COVID numbers, I have to explain why Detroit's not on that list.
Right.
And then there's all sorts of accusations, that come into that come in as a result of that. So yeah, I think we have to have a disclaimer. Anytime we have county data out there, we have to have some sort of disclaimer that says, right. And I like Commissioner Anderson's suggestion, like when we put out our daily COVID numbers, if we have the link to the city of Detroit to get their numbers or something like that. But yeah, we're all getting that every time we post something. So yes, a disclaimer has to come right with these things, I believe. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much. Okay, any additional questions? Okay, thank you for this presentation, Wafa. We look forward to getting this information out. And if you could possibly send us this a PowerPoint presentation, that would be helpful as well. Okay, thank you. Okay, so much. All right, next item, Madam Clerk.
We're moving to the addenda. Item number 4 is approval of an ordinance by Commissioner Bell to amend Chapter 177 of the Wayne County Code of Ordinances, Women's Commission Ordinance.
Okay, this is for first reading, and it will go to the Government Operations Committee. This is allowing the Women's Commission to meet virtually. So this will go to the Government Operations Committee. Next item.
No,
Do we not need a motion for this?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take 1, 2, and 3 together. One and two together.
Okay, item number 5 is approval of an ordinance by Commissioner Bell to amend Chapter 120 of the Wayne County Code of Ordinances, the Procurement Ordinance, to add requirements for responsible contractors.
Okay, this is an ordinance again for first reading. This is going to go to the Committee of the Whole on September 30th. We'll have further discussion on this, but it's a ordinance that Washtenaw, Oakland, many other counties throughout the state has to talk about responsible contracting when it comes to our construction contracts. So I'll take a motion on items 4 and 5.
Move, Madam Chair, first reading.
Support.
Okay, it's been moved and supported. All in favor of having these items go to the areas that designated for them to go, and this is the first reading. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Anyone wish to abstain?
Motion carries.
Okay, item number 6, I am removing that from the agenda, withdrawing that item from the agenda. We need to have some further conversation on number 6. So item 6 is being withdrawn. Next item, Madam Clerk.
We are returning to page 2 of the agenda, reports from committees. Report A is from the Committee on Health and Human Services. There are 6 items listed on pages 2 through 5 of the agenda.
Health and Human Services, Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move approval as amended. Item number 1, move approval 2 through 10.
Commissioner
Support.
Baker McCormick, your as amended is on your next report. This item is actually okay.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm not looking at your agenda on on the screen here. Okay.
I still support.
Okay, it's been moved and supported. Any discussion on the items from Health and Human Services? Any discussion? There's several items. Okay, hearing none.
Can I ask
Roll-
Madam Chair? I'm sorry.
Oh, Commissioner Knizik.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry. It initially was stated item 1 through 6. Our fellow colleagues said items 1 through 10. Are we considering both the agenda and the addenda items?
We're
Yeah.
gonna do this
1 through 6.
1 through 6.
Yes,
right?
1 through 6.
Thank you. Just confirming, just making sure. Thank you.
And I still support it.
Thank you. All right, the items 1 through 6 on the Health and Human Services report. Seeing no hands for discussion, we'll do a roll call vote, please, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Daub,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Khalil,
Aye.
Commissioner Kinlatt,
Yes.
Commissioner Knizik,
Yes on items 1 through 5 and abstain on item 6.
duly noted. Commissioner Marecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Varga,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun,
Yes.
Vice Chair Palomera,
I abstain on item 1 and vote yes on the balance of the report.
duly noted. Chair Bell,
Yes.
motion carries. I have Commissioner Palomera as an abstention on 1 and Commissioner Knizik an abstention on number 6.
Okay, thank you so much. Next item, please.
We're moving to page 5 of the agenda, Report B from the Committee on Audit. There is 1 item listed.
Commissioner Basham.
I would move the agenda as presented.
Support Anderson.
It's been moved and supported to receive and file the item for the audit report. Any discussion on that item? Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, I'll do a voice vote for this. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Anyone wish to abstain?
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item, please.
We're on Report C from the Committee on Public Safety, Judiciary, and Homeland Security. There are 10 items listed on pages 6 and 7 of the agenda.
Okay, this is the Public Safety Report. Commissioner Clark Coleman. Commissioner Clark Coleman. Yeah, we can hear you now.
Very good. I move items 1, let's see, receive and file. Okay, receive and file 1 through 6, and I move approval of item 7.
Support.
And 8.
It's been moved
And
and
9 and
supported.
10.
And 9 and 10.
I'm sorry, yeah, 8, 9, and 10.
It's been moved and supported. Any discussion on the items for the public safety report? Any discussion?
I'm sorry, who supported the motion?
That was Commissioner Scott.
Thank you.
Any discussion on the public safety report? All right, hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Daub,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Khalil,
Aye.
Commissioner Kinlatt,
Yes.
Commissioner Knizik,
Yes.
Commissioner Marecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Varga,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun,
Yes.
Vice Chair Palomera,
Yes.
Chair Bell,
Yes.
motion carries.
Okay, thank you so much. Next item, please.
We're moving to Report D from the Committee on Government Operations. There are 5 items listed on pages 7 through 9 of the agenda.
Commissioner Daub.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move items 1 through 5 for approval.
Support.
Supported by Commissioner Hados. Government Operations Report has 5 items. Are there any discussion on these items?
Yes, Madam Chair, we had a couple of questions in committee that were not, we didn't get answers on. So I just wanted to follow up on a few items. For item number 1, is there anyone here from the clerk's office that can give us a status on the completion of the scanning project?
Anyone from the clerk's office or anyone who is involved in this project? Who spoke to this project at your meeting, Commissioner?
You know what? I cannot remember. And
I believe it was Dwayne Seals.
Yes, it was. Thank you, Joe.
Okay, is Mr. Seals on the line? Okay, it appears he is not on the line. I don't know if there's anyone from the administration who can speak to this. Commissioner Kling?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. This was a question I asked in committee, right? We're spending, but this is $1 million and we've been digitalizing for a while. And I asked for, what can we expect in the future? What % of this has been digitalized? It was a few weeks ago that some vital records up in Genesee County, I believe, had a fire and destroyed a bunch of records. And it was shared with us at the meeting that absolutely today at full board, they would have a number for us as to what percentage of the files have been done, and how far we have yet to go. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Maybe we can have someone reach out to the clerk's office and they can give us that answer before we end this meeting.
Thank you, Madam Chair. On item number 3, I believe, and Commissioner Anderson, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you had a question regarding the conference rooms that we were using this technology in for the Blue Water Technology contract.
Yes, I did. I got a sufficient answer. I understand that it's continuing the maintenance of the system and some changes that are in place coming along. So I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And then finally, on items number 4 and 5, we did have a question regarding the termination clause for these contracts in case we no longer need them within the 3 years. And we did receive an answer that was emailed to all commissioners. So I just wanted to bring that up in case any commissioners had any further questions regarding that issue.
Okay, Madam Chair, I'm not sure if you saw that, but Mr. Seals is on, the clerk says that Mr. Seals is logging in now.
Okay, so before we go to Mr. Seals, were there any additional information for 4 and 5? Or are you all set, Commissioner Dobb?
I'm all set. I just wanted to ask if any other commissioners on the committee or not on the committee had any questions regarding that termination clause, but I believe we were, our question was answered by email and it was sent out to everyone. So if Mr. Seals is on now.
Mr. Seals, are you on the line?
He has not joined yet.
Okay, we'll circle back to that question. Okay, Commissioner Killeen, you still have your hand up. Do you have another question, Commissioner?
I'm sorry, Madam Chair. I thought I took my hand down. No, I don't. Thank you. Well, now I am lowering it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, any additional questions or comments on the government operations report? Okay, hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark-Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dobb,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Killeen,
Aye.
Commissioner Kinlock,
Yes.
Commissioner Knizik,
Yes.
Commissioner Marecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Varga,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun,
Yes.
Vice Chair Palomera,
Yes.
Chair Bell,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you. Next item, please.
We're on Report E from the Committee on Senior Citizens and Veterans Affairs. There is one item listed.
Okay, Commissioner Scott.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is some additional halal meals that came through the Coronavirus Response Act funding. And so this just gives some additional monies. So I move approval, please.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any questions on this item? Any questions on this item? All right, this is contract, so we will go ahead and have a voice vote for this. Madam Clerk. Roll call
Commissioner,
vote. Roll call vote.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dodd,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Kleen,
Aye.
Commissioner Kinlack,
Yes.
Commissioner Knizik,
Yes.
Commissioner Marecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Varga,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun,
Yes.
Vice Chair Palomera,
Yes.
Chair Bell,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you. Next item, please.
We are moving to the addenda for the remainder of the reports. Report F is from the Committee on Public Services. There are 10 items listed on pages 2 through 5 of the addenda.
Okay, Commissioner Marecki.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to move to receive and file item 1 and move for approval items 2 through 10.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Items 1 for receive and file, 2 through 10 for approval. Any discussion on these items? Commissioner Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. If the chair of the committee would be so willing, I'd like to have item number 5. I'd be the sponsor of that resolution or the approval of that.
Yes, of course.
Thank you. And Inkster, thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Basham.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I know there's no change in dollar amount, but why are we having another retroactive contract? It don't look like this is something that needs to be retroactive on number 8.
Okay, this is dollar amount. Can someone speak to this?
Just want to say in your absence, Chair Marecki, Committee Chair Marecki spoke to that.
Yes, I did. We brought this up in your honor, Ray.
Oh, then I'll lower my hand if that's okay. Thank you so very much.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Kleen.
No.
No,
Sorry about
Commissioner
that.
Kleen. Okay. Okay, are we all set? Or did you need an explanation, Commissioner Basham, or are you satisfied with how the committee handled it?
I am never satisfied with retroactive contracts or sole source. So will I vote in support of this? Begrudgingly, yes.
Okay. Any additional questions on the Public Services Committee report? All right, hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dodd,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Kleen,
Aye.
Commissioner Kinlack,
Yes.
Commissioner Knizik,
Yes.
Commissioner Marecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Varga,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun,
Yes.
Vice Chair Palomera,
Yes.
Chair Bell,
Yes,
Motion carries, and I have Commissioner Anderson as the maker of the motion on item 5.
Okay, thank you so much. Next item, please.
We're moving to report G from the Committee on Ways and Means. There are 4 items listed.
Commissioner Varga.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move the committee report on Ways and Means.
Support.
Okay, it's been moved and supported to approve the Ways and Means report. Any questions on these items? Can scroll up, please. Any questions on Ways and Means? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Anderson,
Off mute.
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dahl,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Killeen,
Aye.
Commissioner Kinlock,
Yes.
Commissioner Knizik,
Yes.
Commissioner Marecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Varga,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun,
Yes.
Vice Chair Palomero,
Yes.
Chair Bell,
Yes.
motion carries.
Yeah. All right, next item, please.
We are moving to report H from the Committee on Health and Human Services. There are 10 items listed on pages 6 through 10 of the addenda.
Okay, there was a second Health and Human Services meeting, so Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Yes, so this is the items that I was referring to the first time around. So I move approval as amended, item number 1, and move approval, items 2 through 10.
Support. Anderson.
Okay, moved and supported the Health and Human Services report 1 through 10. Any discussion on these items?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Kinlock.
I would like to be the maker of a motion. Can you go back one for me? The items where Black family development is listed.
Okay,
that's-
that's item number 3.
Number 3, yes.
Okay, thank you. Any additional discussion on the report? Okay, hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Anderson,
Going off mute.
Yes.
Commissioner Basham,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark Coleman,
Yes.
Commissioner Dahl,
Yes.
Commissioner Hattis,
Yes.
Commissioner Killeen,
Aye.
Commissioner Kinlock,
Yes.
Commissioner Knizik,
I'd like to abstain from item 2 and vote yes on the balance of the items.
duly noted. Commissioner Marecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Baker McCormick,
Yes.
Commissioner Scott,
Yes.
Commissioner Varga,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Baydoun,
Yes.
Vice Chair Palomero,
Yes.
Chair Bell,
Yes.
motion carries. And I have Commissioner Kinlock, maker of the motion, item 3, Commissioner Knizik, abstain, item 2.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. All right, next items.
We're returning to page 10 of the agenda, upcoming committee and task force meetings.
Okay, everyone, please note these meetings, and there will be a committee of the whole on Thursday, September 30th. A notice will go out shortly. It will be at 10 o'clock in the morning. And again, that will be on September 30th. And a notice will go out in the next few hours. Next item.
New business, we have 3 items listed on the addenda. Item number 1 is requesting commission approval of the appointment of River Rouge Mayor Michael Boulder as an alternate member of the Wayne County Transit Authority Board.
Okay, if I'm not mistaken, these are all similar. I'm going to call on Andy Kent-Rivas to speak to these.
Yes. Good morning, Madam Chair and Commission. Andrew Kandrivas for Wayne County Executive Warren Evans. All 3 are similar. They're all appointments to the Wayne County Transit Authority Board. The new business item number 1 is the selection of the Downriver Community Conference for River Rouge Mayor Michael Boulder to serve as an alternate. Item number 2 is the Conference of Western Wayne's nomination of Oliver Walcott, Mayor of Plymouth, City of Plymouth, to serve. And they're one of 3 slots. And the third one is for, again, the Down River Community Conference. The DCC has nominated Stephen Rizeppa, who is the current mayor of Trenton, to serve on this board. These are replacing members as indicated in the caption. This is asked for immediate consideration. I did bring this up with the chair's permission on government operations. The WCTA is a 9-member board, and we will have a meeting upcoming at the end of this month, a public hearing, basically to apply the tax roll, levy the taxes on the smart millage. So that's what this board does. So because of that, I would ask for your consideration and approval of these 3 members to be appointed.
Move
Thank
approval
you.
of
Okay.
items 1.
Support.
Okay, it's been moved and supported. I see a hand, Commissioner Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would ask to be able to be the one to sponsor the number 2, but I understand he's not in my district, but he's a former intern of mine in the state Senate, the mayor of Plymouth, and Oliver was a good part of my team there, and I think he's an excellent choice, as are the others. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. I think we can make you the maker of the motion for that. Commissioner Dobb?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I was going to ask to be the maker of the motion for item 2,
Oh.
but I'll give it to Glenn.
Well, that's a popular one, huh? Okay. All right, thank you all. It's been moved and supported for items 1, 2, and 3. These are approval appointments, so I'll just do a voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Anyone wish to abstain?
Motion carries, and I have Commissioner Anderson as the maker of the motion on number 2.
Thank you so much. Next item, please.
We're returning to the agenda. Page 11, testimonial resolutions and certificates of appreciation. There are 3 items listed.
Okay, is there a motion?
Move approval, Madam Chair.
And move, there's support?
Support, Maraki.
Okay. Commissioner Dobb, see your hand?
Yes, thank you. Madam Chair, I'd like to offer my congratulations to Michael L. Kinlock, who is a constituent of mine and also Commissioner Kinlock's cousin, on his appointment to the position of Northern Province Pole March for the Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity. And I believe Michael is in the meeting with us, so I just wanted to say hello to him and congratulations.
Yes, thank you. Not sure what the protocol is, but do I get a chance to thank you?
Sure, go ahead, Mr. Kinlock.
Okay, great. No, thank you very much, for allowing me to join the meeting this morning. And I want to thank the commissioners for this resolution and high honor. I want to give special thanks to you, Melissa, Commissioner Dobbs, for your support, and to my cousin, Commissioner Jonathan Kinlock, again, for this high honor. There are a few of my fraternity brothers on the call this morning, and we just want to let you know that it's our plan to use our talents and gifts, to support Wayne County, as well as the other counties that we recognize in the region of the Northern Province. Again, on behalf of my family, my fraternity, and my friends, I want to thank you for this resolution of appreciation. And I want to say aloha from the state of Hawaii.
Aloha.
That's where I am at the moment.
And it's mighty early in Hawaii, so aloha.
Yeah.
And you have special congratulations from the 3 members of the Divine Nine who are also Wayne County Commissioners, Commissioner Clark Coleman, Alpha Kappa Alpha, Commissioner McCormick, Theta Phi Beta, and yours truly, Delta Sigma Theta. So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right. All right, and so we have testimony resolutions. We have motion and support. Voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Anyone wish to abstain?
Motion carries.
All right, thank you so much. Next item, please.
We're on memoriams. There are 3 names listed.
Okay, as you know, unfortunately, continue to lose great persons in our community. And last week was the funeral for Mr. Marvell Cheeks, who was very instrumental in so many organizations here in Detroit. And then the sister of Horace Sheffield also passed away, and her name is not on here, and it should have been. And I wanted to keep those families in our prayers during this difficult time. Commissioner Clark Coleman.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. And I want to add a name on the memoriams. Many of us might know this individual. He worked for the county for many years. His name is Jim Fox. And he was a photographer for the Road Commission for many, many years. And I worked for the Road Commission, and I was the assistant director of public information, and Jim worked in my office with me. So he passed away, and I'd like to send our condolences to a longtime county employee, retiree, but a longtime county employee, and that's Jim Fox.
Thank you, Commissioner. We'll note his name as well. Commissioner Scott.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd just like to say a few words about all 3 of these people. Marvell Cheeks, known him for many years. He worked up in the legislature when I first went up there with one of the commissioners, and was just a kind of quiet, soft guy. And then just a couple years ago, after he moved to South Carolina, he married one of the educators there that was a friend of my cousin's, and we had a cookout, and who showed up but Marvell Cheeks. And at that time he was just engaged to her, but later they got married. So my prayers go out to her, his wife, and the rest of the family. And on Bernard Wardlaw Sr. was my cousin. And just a great, fantastic community person that lived in my district. And when I first came from the South, my family moved in with his family. So I was just been grateful to my cousins for all that, how we worked together and lived together, and how my mother had to cook for 10 children because his mom had just passed. And so that was in Coney Garden. So that was my beginning here in Michigan. And then Donald Ray Trent, his family was very active in Highland Park. In fact, his aunt was my finance director when I was mayor. So my prayers go out to all of them. So God bless them and rest in peace. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you so much for those words. Commissioner Clark Coleman.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I neglected to also mention Marvell Cheeks. I'm sure that most of us know that Marvell Cheeks is the brother of former Congresswoman Carolyn Cheeks. So, but Marvell and I go back, and he was always very helpful, but above all, he was very active in a fellowship chapel, which is Reverend Anthony's church. Very, very active member over there, and also active with the NAACP. So just want to mention those kinds of things about Marvell. Was just a very wonderful, warm, and giving person. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Colleen. Commissioner Clean, then I'll go circle back to you, Commissioner.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I want to add the name Kimberly Gale, Gayle Kennedy, who is the niece of my administrative assistant, Tamika Kennedy.
Sorry to hear that. Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you, Commissioner.
so are we.
Yes, absolutely. Commissioner, let me take hands in order. Commissioner Kinlock and Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to extend my condolences to the Cheeks family. Since I first got involved in volunteering for the state council president, Irma Henderson, Marvell Cheeks was there. Marvell Cheeks was always someone, when you met him with that smile and just always gracious and just a kind guy. Even when you found yourself on different sides of issues, he was always a perfect gentleman. And my thoughts, prayers, and condolences go out to the entire Cheeks and Kilpatrick family with this loss. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Baker McCormick.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to send my condolences to the Cheeks and Kilpatrick's family as well. Marvell lived at one point in my district, and he was a very kind soul and very supportive of me and over the years, way before I became commissioner. So my condolences to the family. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And let me also point out that O'Neill Swanson was funeralized yesterday. O'Neill Swanson actually passed away last year in the middle of the pandemic and was not able to have a proper send-off. And he did have that on yesterday. Swanson Funeral is such an important business in our community and known nationally, actually. And again, before the pandemic, it was ironic that him that did so many of our great funerals, from Rosa Parks to Coleman Young, everyone did not have a proper send-off last year when he passed away because of the pandemic. He was able to have his services on yesterday. So we want to keep the Swanson family in our prayers as well.
Yes, ditto.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Madam Chair, did we
last year
give
we
a
did a memorial with all
resolution?
commissioners' name on it. Yes,
Yeah, I thought we did. I just wanted to clarify that. Thank you.
Madam Chair, can it be laid out in this record as well?
Pardon?
Can we actually include it in this record as well?
Oh, yes. I will double check. I think we did last year. As I think it's already on the record. When it was close to his passing.
Remember my text.
Thank you. We'll put a star and add your name to it, Mr. Kinlock. Thank you. Commissioner Killeen, you still have your hand up. Did you have another?
No, I do not. I didn't take that down, huh?
Okay.
There you go.
All right. Thank you so much.
I
Okay,
appreciate, Madam Chair, that you pay attention to that.
I am
because there's
trying to pay
many
attention.
meetings where I have the hand up forever, and it's so I appreciate your diligence in that matter.
Doing better. Thank you so much. Let us now at this point take a moment of silence to keep in the prayers of all the persons that we've lost and the families of the persons that we've lost over the last few weeks. Moment of silence, please. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, next item, Madam Clerk.
Public comments.
Okay. Oh, yes, Commissioner Dodd, before we go to public comments.
Yeah, before we go to public comments, could we circle back to that question for Dwayne Seals?
Oh, is Mr. Seals on the line?
I thought he was.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Chair.
Oh, great.
Hello,
Thank you.
Mr. Seals. Hello.
Yes.
The question earlier in the was about the status of the making sure that things are shredded and
the scanning of the documents in the Vigliotti building.
Yes.
We just wanted to know what how many have been completed. Do you have a percentage or a number of documents?
Yes,
and
Commissioner.
the time frame on which you think it'll be complete as well?
Sure, Commissioner Dobb, through the chair. I did do some research to find out as far as the status, where we're at. I know the project had went on hold for a while. I know when the previous deputy CEO left, he was spearheading that project. When he left, so it kind of stopped, it kind of stalled. My understanding is that they're actually starting back up. Now, as far as that contract, the Wayne County clerk doesn't really have anything to do with that contract. That contract is actually handled by the courts and the CEO. The Wayne County clerk is just only there as a participant and to help the location of the boxes. So we don't really have any say. Now, I did ask as far as where we at in completion. I was told that they are at 2004, they're up to 2010 in civil cases, which is around 20,000 boxes. I asked what is the time frame for that actually being completed. I was told they're about 15 and 20% done. It really depends on up to the court as far as how much they want to shred or they actually want to with the documents.
Okay, thank you. We'll continue to monitor this in the Government Operations Committee, but since we have the contract before us for Scan America, we wanted to see where they were and how much more we had to do. But we'll stay on top of where this goes. Thank you, Mr. Steele, for joining us today.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, I think we are down to public comments. If there are people on the line who would like to be recognized for public comments, and I see a hand, President Buffington, please.
Good morning, Your
How much
Honorable
time, Chair?
Commission.
Oh, I'm sorry, time, 1 minute, thank you.
Good morning, Your Honorable Commission and everyone else. I just want to extend my condolences to ASME Council 25, Robin Price, the Secretary Treasurer. Her son was murdered and she laid him to rest yesterday. He was the age of 23 and he had just graduated as an engineer from college. I'm extending my condolences to the Secretary Treasurer of the state level, Council 25, Secretary Treasurer Robin Price. Thank you all.
Thank you, and please give her our sincerest condolences as well during this absolutely horrible time. If there's anything we can do, please feel free to reach out. Thank you. Thank you so much, President. Dr. Riley, 1 minute.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right.
I'm
Good morning.
sorry, state your name. Everyone, please state your name for the record as well. Thank you.
For sure. My name is Dr. Leah Riley, and I'm joining you today to voice that the current mask mandates for our children are wrong, the current vaccine mandates are wrong, and the current vaccine passports being implemented in the businesses in our community are wrong. And I'm frustrated about how much of my taxpayer money is being used to promote the narrative that the COVID-19 vaccines are safe and effective without doing due diligence to provide the whole story. This is discriminatory activity and it must stop. The Vaccine Adverse Events Reporting System released data on September 3rd showing that there have been 14,506 reported deaths from COVID-19 vaccines since December 2020. That's right, over 14,000 deaths from COVID-19 vaccines. And we know from other studies that VAERS contains fewer than 1% of vaccine adverse events. This is significant. And it's heartbreaking that there are so many people dying from these vaccines and that's not being reported.
Thank you, Dr. Riley. Adele Mozip. Oh, okay, go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. 1 minute is too little, but distinguished commissioners, on January 25th, 2019, I and many others reported Miller Road as a hazardous road for automobiles, especially small cars that pass through the road. In fact, driving with a 2021 rental was almost dangerous and felt like the car was shaking the whole time. Residents were told by the county and our commissioner, Commissioner Beydoun, that Miller Road is a priority on the priority list. This was back in 2019, and it would be on repairs for 2020 or 2021. We're now almost 2022. We finally saw some construction cones and they were hopeful that the road would be fixed. There was minimal work, not measured to say the roads were any safer to drive. We have a school bus that drives through Miller every single day. Miller Road serves as a vital lifeline for the South End residents. We do understand the bridge will be replaced by federal and state money, but whenever Dearborn residents complain about Miller Road, they're being told to go to Wayne County and its commission.
Yes, and we do not engage in back and forth. I will say this, could you please just continue to be in contact with your commissioner on this issue, because he would have all the details to the date in which it will be complete. So thank you for coming today to speak on this issue. Commissioner Baidoon will certainly discuss this with you further. Thank you. Any other hands? I don't see any hands on my part. So if you have a hand here on Zoom or on the telephone, just go ahead and jump in. Okay, I believe there are some emails that our clerk has to be read. Go ahead, clerk.
Okay. It has been nearly 3 weeks since the Wayne County Health Department issued its emergency public health order requiring masks in schools. To this day, the county COVID dashboard still includes children in the 0 to 29 age cohort for cases and deaths, and only in that cohort. Families with school-aged children in our community as a whole deserves to have transparency in data in this dashboard for school-aged children, especially since this age group is the largest currently under county-issued mask mandates. Everyone, regardless of which side of the issue they are on, should have easy and timely access to this data to assess the effectiveness of the current mandate and effectively assess the risk for each individual family. Thank you, Tamara Oliverio.
Physical therapy. Nice.
Dear medical and government officials, asking all of you to unmask our kids. Masks are not just child abuse associated with both acute and chronic injuries. They cause harm, they cause infection. Masks do not prevent infection. They cause infection, injury, and even death. They do not prevent children from contacting COVID-19, but don't take it from me. Read the box. The box distributed throughout our country says, warning, this mask should not be used by children. Do you know what warning means? Are you unwilling to read instructions or use good old common sense? You will be held accountable for breaching the divine rights of these child victims causing irreversible injury. The United States Constitution is the supreme law, and any statute to be valid must be in agreement. It is impossible for a law which violates the Constitution to be valid. This is succinctly stated as follows. That was from Nicole George. Dear Wayne Clerk, please, Dear Wayne County Commissioners, I am writing to express my strong conviction as a parent, Michigan resident, and United States citizen that our government has no right to mandate any personal medical choices for our children, whether it is for a mask or for a vaccine. The state of Michigan acknowledges our rights as parents to determine what is best for our children, as the state of Michigan revised school code states in section 380.10. It is the natural fundamental right of parents and legal guardians to determine and direct the care, teaching, and education of their children. The public schools of this state serve the needs of the pupils by cooperating with the pupils' parents and legal guardians to develop the pupils' intellectual capabilities and vocational skills in a safe and positive manner. I believe mask wearing should be optional. Masking inhibits communication, stifles voices, hides facial expressions, and depersonalizes everyone. It puts up barriers and physically makes breathing more difficult. Studies have shown how masks are ineffective at containing viruses. That was from Amy Astella. This is from Susan. My name is Susan. I am a registered nurse for a large conglomerate hospital system. I have been a nurse since 2013 and can assure you there has always been a nursing shortage. The last I checked, 27% of my fellow nurses in my hospital system have remained unvaccinated and likely will remain that way. Because hospitals are short nurses, entire units are being shut down. The media tells you the hospitals are overrun with COVID, and this is an outright lie. As nurses, we are trained to critically think. It is paramount in our profession. With no long-term studies and zero ability to give informed consent, this experimental gene therapy is being unethically administered and in many instances under coercion and duress. The narrative tells people to just trust the science, and I tell you that real science is always challenged and has opposing studies. But those opposing studies are silenced. There are many people just like me who will not bow down and worship tyrannical, unconstitutional government mandates. That was Susan Jablonski. This is Rena Vandermeer. Any and all mandates related to COVID-19 are a violation of our constitutional rights, and in terms of our children, a violation of our parental rights. The mandates must end immediately. Violation of our rights will no longer be tolerated. This is Renee Moken. Dear Commissioners, my name is Renee Moken, Precinct 1, Wayne County. Please help right this wrong. Mask mandates are hurting our children, restricting their airflow and creating a condition for bacteria to grow that is more harmful than the false sense of security it gives to anyone wanting them. Mandating experimental shots for a virus that has a survival rate of 99 point something depending on your age is wrong. These vaccines have killed more people than all other vaccines combined. Requiring passports or segregating based on a personal parental decision is wrong. Everyone should have the right to breathe and have a say-so as to what goes into their body. Please note all of these mandates which have been issued or are being considered are a violation of the U.S. Constitution and the Nuremberg Code. Please do the right thing and help our kids. We will not stop standing up for them. Thank you. Jeffrey Pokerwinski. Hello, I'm writing to tell you that we as American citizens are against any and all mandates and lockdowns. We have body autonomy and can choose what we put into our bodies and on our bodies and where our bodies are allowed to go. Children should not be made to wear masks in schools. The Delta variant is contagious, but nothing more than a cold. This is going on for too long because of man's ignorance. God created man with an immune system and for our bodies to breathe in oxygen, not our waste that we exhale. Ivermectin would eradicate this pandemic and help with the virus. The vaccine is making the virus worse by allowing it to mutate and only supposedly protects people against a certain strand. Then mutates and people need boosters. Ivermectin will change this. Vaccines shouldn't be mandated because there are other therapeutics that work. If you watch mainstream media, they are lying to us and trying to suppress ivermectin. Do your own research. That was Jeffrey Pokerwinski. Nicole Soslowski. My name is Nicole Soslowski from Plymouth, Wayne County. I oppose any medical discrimination in the form of mask mandates, vaccine mandates, and vaccine passports. Our inalienable rights are being violated. We have the right to moral conscience to make decisions for our own bodies, especially if we have natural immunity. I have many concerns about the data based on the safety and efficacy of the COVID-19 vaccines. We are still in the experimental trial phase. I ask that our state legislatures carefully consider their own moral conscience, the data of the COVID-19 vaccine trial, and the safety of our children from a mental and physical perspective. Please do not force mask mandates, vaccine mandates, or vaccine passports. Allow citizens to choose for themselves, as that is what the foundation of the United States of America was created on, freedom. This is from Britta Andrews, District 11. Currently in action in our county, Broadway and the Detroit Symphony have taken a stance to discriminate against their patrons based on private, personal, medical, information. This is unacceptable behavior and must be stopped. This is sad to see. Iconic businesses bringing back Jim Crow style rules that treat fellow American citizens. We are literally seeing history repeat itself. This time around, it's not exclusively about skin color, but medical choice for freedom. It's important to note these choices will disproportionately affect people of color as they are the most vaccine-resistant population in Wayne County. This is upsetting and not in line with our values of our community and must be stopped. We are not a community of discrimination and cannot tolerate this behavior towards our friends and neighbors. Karen Weller. I, Karen Weller, firmly believe natural infection produces protection. Public policy decisions need to take into account the recent studies that are discovering that natural infection produces an immune response that protects individuals against future COVID-19 variant infections. A longitudinal analysis study from Emory University released in July 2021, which followed over 250 COVID-19 patients for 8 months, found that these individuals developed a robust and durable immune memory response, providing them protection from future infections, including COVID-19 variants. The study further explains overcoming the challenges to end the pandemic is accentuated by the recognition that SARS-CoV-2 can undergo rapid antigenic variation that may lower vaccine effectiveness in preventing new cases and progression to severe disease. Our findings show that most COVID-19 patients induce a wide-ranging immune defense against SARS. That was Karen Weller. And the last one is from Chris and Jamie Wirtz. Hello, I am very saddened by the mandate in place in local health departments to put these kids in masks for 8 hours a day. Having the breath in all bacteria, having the breathe in all the bacteria that is breathing in and on the mask. Why are we putting masks on the healthy kids? Our bodies were created to fight infection and illness, and all masks are doing is killing our immune system. Also, let's look at the mental health of these kids and how having their face covered so peers and teachers are missing the signs of depression. I am all for choice. If you feel you want to wear one, have it, but don't force me or my kids. Follow the science and not the agenda. I am a mother of 5, and I am also extremely concerned about the narrative being pushed that these COVID-19 vaccines are safe and that everyone should just get them so that we can move on with our lives. Natural infection produces protection. Public policy decisions need to take into account the recent studies that are discovering that natural infection That was my last one.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Okay, next item. Commissioner Kinlock, let's wait till we get to remarks by members. Next item, Madam Clerk.
Reconsiderations.
There are none. Next item.
Remarks by members.
Commissioner Kinlock.
Madam Chair, over the past few months, we've consistently have sat here and listened to the various comments and misinformation as it relates to mandates and as it relates to mandates associated with vaccines. And we also have heard some mischaracterizations as it relates to the impact and the benefits for wearing a mask during this pandemic. I know that it has been a sort of acceptable practice at this time to basically diminish the truth as it relates to the Jim Crow era. And I take offense to anyone trying to compare the plight and the affliction that was placed upon Black people during Jim Crow to compare it to this mask mandate. And so I just wanted to make that very clear that these, to the public who are hearing this, who may not understand our processes, but these letters, as they are read, as required by the Open Meetings Act, are not in no way, in no fashion, speaks to the sentiment of this body. And so I'm just saying I take total offense with folks trying to compare the mask mandate to the afflictions that Black people had to go through during Jim Crow, and while they are also trying to resurrect many elements of the Jim Crow era today. Thank you.
Thank you,
Amen.
Commissioner.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Commissioner. And we are on remarks by members. Commissioner Kling. Oh, you're on
Unmute.
mute.
Okay, I got it. Yeah. Got to do all this. Thank you, Madam Chair. As you know, Madam Chair and my colleagues, I have tracked the numbers around COVID very, very closely right from the very beginning. The number 14,000 came up today. There is absolutely no evidence whatsoever that 14,000 people have been killed by the vaccine. There simply is no evidence for that at all. However, since the 14,000, well, people have been saying it kills people for a long time, so I've been tracking it. The number 14,000 comes up today. I would suggest that number comes from an article that just came out a couple of days ago in the New York or in the Newsweek, because I hadn't heard the 14,000 number before. That article points out that there's been 14,000 people who have been reinfected. They were vaccinated and reinfected and wound up in the hospital as a result of that reinfection, or died and never made it to the hospital. So I would encourage people that do their research to go back and reread that article for accuracy. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Scott.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ditto to both of my colleagues just now. But I would just like to say thank you for yesterday at the DIA. That was wonderful. And a special thanks to my colleague, Ken Locke. He came up just in time to assist me so I didn't have to drive my car to the parking lot. So publicly, I say thank you. And to Terrence for taking care of 3 women yesterday. So Terrence, thank you so much for you getting us to our cars. So thanks again. And we just, it was just wonderful just being around staff and others yesterday since we've been in so long. So again, thank you, Madam Chair. That was wonderful.
Thank you, Commissioner. I'm glad you were able to attend. Commissioner Basham.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I will echo what Commissioner Kleen said with ditto to Commissioner Kenlock's remarks. You know, everybody has a right to their opinion, but it doesn't make it fact. So anyway, without getting too deep in it and pushing back and forth, people pretty much know where they're at. But again, there is fake news out there, and I'll leave it at that. Bye.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm reminded of I guess this is a play on an adage and a comment that we hear sometimes, that never let the truth stand in the way of a good lie. And I think that's what we keep hearing here. And it's unfortunate that we don't do a back and forth, but I understand the reason for that. But it is a shame that people will use misinformation to support what they're trying to do. And it's a shame because they're serving nobody but to harm others. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Hayes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I agree with all my colleagues, and we've been through this for a long time. People agree and disagree. Yesterday, I have a person communicate with my legislative aide, Ms. Washington, and ask her he need to talk to me about important private matter. So when I received the note, I called the gentleman. I hesitate to call without knowing what's the subject, but he was on the mask issue and the vaccine. I don't mind people disagree on how we do things, but I do mind when somebody get nasty with their language. In my opinion, that it's extreme and negative and disrespectful to the people who disagree with them. So I hope they will be civil in the future and not use the same language I heard yesterday. But, you know, I still have to listen despite the nasty language, because the constitutional right allows somebody to be stupid. There's nothing against that. But I will say the language was used yesterday with me. It's not acceptable by any means. And I hope that person would be listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. I see hands from Commissioner Basham, Scott, Anderson. Did you just not put them down? Would you like to be recognized again?
I just didn't take mine down.
Okay, all right, thank you. Commissioner Clark Coleman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. You know, and I disagree with Commissioner Hattis. Just because we are elected officials does not give anyone the right to talk to us in any kind of language, and I won't stand for it. If people start threatening me or using bad language with me or anything of that sort, I'm not going to stay on the phone and listen to it because that is not required of me, and I'm not going to do it. And I respect you, Commissioner Hattis, for sitting there and allowing people to swear at you and call you all kinds of names and then still talk to them. I just am not going to do it. I refuse. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Okay, any other remarks by members? Any other remarks by members? Okay, you know, I'll just say my little piece here. Unfortunately, the facts have gotten in the way of, or the lies have gotten in the way of the facts, I should say. And this has become a divided issue whereby I believe years ago for the polio vaccine, for all the tetanus shots that we all received as children, we knew it was for the greater good of the community, and we all did that. There is no difference with this today. So it's just sad and unfortunate that we can't get all on one accord as to how to protect each other and how to protect our children. But this is a time that we're in, and I'm sure that this too shall pass. But we just want to make sure that we are civil in our disagreement on how to go forward. So that's what I'll say to that. Do not want to belabor the point. I think my colleagues said it all eloquently. So I will just move forward, and hopefully we can all get on one accord that these things are the best for all of us. Ever want to get back to normal and have things back before the pandemic, the worldwide pandemic, which has taken over 1 million lives. So that's all I'll say on that. So at this point, I'll reiterate that we do have a committee of the whole on the 30th to discuss a few things. One is the ERP in particular, as well as a couple of amendments to ordinance. And at this time, hearing no other remarks by members, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Support.
Okay, it's been moved and supported. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Thank you so much. Meeting adjourned. Have a great day.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.